Hey everyone, what's happening? This is Christian Stoynev. And I told myself that once I got this YouTube channel up to 1,000 followers, that I would start trying to do this podcast. So here we are, first podcast attempt. Got a little studio set up. And today I'm going to talk about the NBA Cup, which is here. Finally, we got the semifinals today. We got two games. Pretty good matchups. We got the Hawks playing the Bucks, and then we got the OKC Thunder against the Houston Rockets, which obviously has to be the marquee matchup. The Thunder might be finals favorites at this point. Obviously, they're missing Chet Holmgren, and the Rockets are that up-and-coming, dog type of team that is hungry to make a statement and get themselves starting to be taken seriously after having a few off years and finally stepping up. They just came off a dub against the Dubs. They beat the Warriors at home, which I was there for, and it was awesome. It felt like a playoff game. So the Rockets got that momentum going. Obviously, these games now are being played in Vegas, so it's a neutral site. And so we will see how, these teams fare with that. No home court advantage, so to speak. The Bucks obviously will play against the Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young, who just put on another performance in Madison Square Garden and knock off the Knicks. So the Knicks are out. The Hawks get through, and the Hawks are kind of, the underdog in this tournament. No one really was expecting to see them here, let alone giving them much of a chance. But sure enough, they're going to take on the Bucks, and I do think they have a puncher's chance. The Bucks have been playing better as of late, but the Hawks are young. They're exciting, and with a young team in this kind of tournament, I feel like those guys are super hungry to not just make a statement, but obviously there's a lot of money on the line. And when you don't have a lot of guys with max contracts and big deals, the $500K reward is a big deal to these young guys. So the Hawks are full of young guys that I'm sure are motivated not just by, obviously the money incentive, but also about getting their name out there. And, if they win this tournament, people are going to have to talk about the Hawks and say, like, hey, this team maybe can make the playoffs and can make some noise. Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels has been playing great ball. He's kind of one of those young guys that has come out of nowhere. He was part of the DeJounte Murray trade. So having him in Atlanta kind of start to shine a little bit and kind of, play off of Trae Young and the fact that they've been vibing. Obviously, they got the rookie Ricochet, who's pretty solid as well. So, that matchup with the Bucks is interesting. I feel like the Thunder and the Rockets, they're kind of more similar in terms of a little bit of a mix of veterans with young guys and guys that are kind of established. Obviously, the Rockets are younger, but the Thunder just seem older because they've kind of been good now for, a couple of years. Last year, obviously, they had a deep run in the playoffs, and Shea just plays older, but even though he's been in the league a few years, he's just mature, and he just the way he plays and everything. But the Rockets got Fred VanVleet. They got Dylan Brooks. They got some vets that definitely can lead the young guys. Ime Udoka, obviously, I would describe him as an old school head coach who relies on his vets to kind of lead the way. So that matchup is the one that I'm really excited to see. I do think the Bucks will be able to take care of the Hawks, especially just the fact that even though they are the veteran team and maybe, the money incentive isn't as crazy for them, the fact that they started off the season really bad, to be honest, and then started playing better as of late. And obviously you have all the questions. Will Dame be able to kind of mesh with Giannis? And, are they going to be contenders? Was it the right move to, let go of Adrian Griffin and bring in Doc Rivers? And all these questions that I think the Bucks are hungry to just kind of put that to rest. If they can take care of this and win this tournament, and then obviously people will say, all right, the Bucks have arrived. They are here. The Bucks that we thought we would see with Dame and Giannis running the pick and roll and being an explosive team, they have arrived. Chris Middleton's now healthy and, playing. So that's the Bucks' motivation. So I think the Bucks can take care of it. I think they'll take care of the Hawks. But that Rockets Thunder matchup, man, I don't know what to do with that matchup. It's tough. If I had to pick a winner, I would just go with the Thunder because I think down the stretch with 2 minutes left, who do you want the ball? Who do you want running the show? And whose hands do you want the ball in? And that's Shea. SGA has been really incredible is if it hadn't been for Jokic having another MVP type year with some historic numbers that he's putting up, Shea would be my guy up there, because I think this Thunder team, despite an injury to a main starter in Holmgren that's been out for the majority of the season, is still one of the scariest teams to face. The way he runs the show, the way his teammates seem to love him, and the way he's just scary to match up with, especially with the clock winding down. So that's the only reason I'm picking the Thunder, even though the line, the betting markets really have the Thunder kind of taking care of the Rockets. I think the Rockets will put up a good fight, and I think it'll be a close game. And we shall see, obviously, how it plays out. I'm very excited. At least the NBA Cup, has brought us some good matchups. And obviously, I think a lot of the talk is the NBA Cup working? Is it not working? I'll say this much. It's the second year of the NBA Cup, so we got to give it a chance. Even myself that follows the NBA very closely, it's kind of confused when, you got the point differential, the group leaders, and who's advancing, who's not advancing, who's hosting a game. There's makeup games being set up for the teams that didn't make, the cup and pass the group stage. So all that stuff is still pretty confusing, even for a person like me that really follows the NBA. But again, it's only year two. I think as time goes on, people start getting used to it, as their history kind of starts to build with this tournament, and people understand and get the gist of it. I think obviously everything will come around. So we shall see. And if that ends up being the matchup, if it ends up being Thunder Bucks, that's awesome. A lot of people maybe thought that could have even been an NBA Finals matchup, but I think some people kind of got away from that because of the Bucks struggling. I think everybody still has the Thunder as the Western Conference favorite. And obviously in the Eastern Conference, people think the Celtics will make it. But really, aside from the Celtics, the Bucks are knocking on the door. They've been playing way better. And they have the players of, championship caliber that I think could, make a run at the finals if they get it all together. So hopefully, for my sake, I guess that's the matchup that we get for my prediction. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Rockets in there, because I just love that team. And I love the fact that they got, Freddie VanVleet in there, and they got some young guys in there that are trying to prove themselves as well. And again, I think I'm biased to having been there at this game when they beat the Warriors, and the fans were really loving it. So that fan base hasn't had too much to cheer for in the past few years. So it's nice to see them finally be relevant again and have a squad with a promising future, making noise right now. I mean, they're playing great ball. If their season ended today, they would have home court in the first round of the playoffs. So, I mean, that's pretty big. So, definitely a playoff team, and we shall see. This matchup should be great. So we'll leave it at that. I just wanted to get one pod out there at least to try to get this going and figure out, how I edit this, how I do all this, and I'll keep working on it. But like I said, I told myself I get to 1,000 subscribers that I would start trying to do this a little bit more often. So here we are. Leave comments. Let me know what you guys would want to hear me talk about. And eventually I want to set up interviews where I can be interviewing not just athletes, but also broadcasters and friends of mine in the industry, people that put together, a lot of the entertainment, performers from the Strip. So I kind of, will keep it sports related, considering the fact that I feel like I'm in the athlete world. But a lot of people maybe don't consider the fact that the people covering the athletes as well are very involved and, have other than obviously some are playing, but some are covering the sport, the travel, and all that, the schedule and all that is kind of sometimes very similar. Broadcasters travel with the team as well. So I'm very interested in knowing more about that, and hopefully you are too. So keep supporting and keep subscribing. Hopefully this is something that we can grow into a bigger channel, and then we'll see where we take it. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Till next time. Oh, yeah. And football Sunday, baby. Can't wait. All right. See you.